ketchup and mustard. They're in every diner in America. But lately, it's become pretty hard to find a table without a bottle of hot sauce sitting right next to them. Except there is one pretty big difference. Hot sauce kinda hurts. Some people actually love the pain. Other people want nothing to do with it. But it's undoubtedly become a cultural phenomenon.
I got hot sauce in my bag. Swag.
So why is the hot sauce industry exploding? And why do some people actually enjoy pain?
I always make the joke that I'm waiting for my grandmother to start a hot sauce company. It's like everyone's making hot sauce.
Everyone and their mom's making a hot sauce. I'm at the New York City Hot Sauce Expo. People come from everywhere to show off and taste spicy concoctions. Steve Seabury has been organizing the convention for more than 7 years. Why do you think people are so drawn to this stuff?
I just think people are bored with steak and potatoes and they just want to have fun, spice it up. And it is a rush too. I mean, you're like, wow, this is really awesome. I like this feeling. And then you want more and you get hotter and hotter and the next thing you know, you're crazy.
Have you seen the hot sauce industry sort of explode in the last few years?
Yeah, there's like 20 craft breweries in any small town now, and the same with hot sauce. Every town has 2 or 3 hot sauce companies, you know.
That's one thing we kept hearing as we explored the expo, that craft hot sauce is taking off like craft beer did years ago. And on some level it makes sense. As our country becomes more diverse, so does the food we eat. Asian and Latino populations are known for having a higher tolerance for spice. And as those demographics grow, those flavors become more popular. And not just among people who grew up with them. Ed?
Yeah.
What did you do? What did you do?
This is what I did.
That's Smokin' Ed Curry. And okay, he's not entirely responsible for the hot sauce boom, but he did play a pretty big part. You invented this crazy, messed up thing for people to go to the hospital for.
It's a little thing known as Smokin' Ed's Carolina Reaper. It's the current Guinness World Record pepper, 1.641 million Scoville heat units.
For context, a jalapeno can get up around 8,000 Scovilles. Ed's Carolina Reaper is more than 200 times hotter. And this thing doesn't grow naturally. Ed spent years crossbreeding peppers, taking the pollen from one and putting it into the flower of another until he came up with the hottest pepper in the world. It's part of a whole subculture of the hot sauce world that revolves around creating and eating the hottest foods known to man. While we were at the expo, we witnessed folks trying to break a world record. They had 60 seconds to eat as many Carolina Reapers as they could handle. It was quite a sight. Why do you think people do this to themselves?
Well, there's really three groups of people that come here. There's people who just they're hipsters who want to party, you know. They're the ones laying around on the floor throwing up, okay? And then there's real chili heads, people who enjoy spice. And then the last group that's really predominant here are the thrill seekers, you know, people who climb that building with no ropes or something.
This adrenaline thing.
Yeah, they love the rush.
Okay, I get seeking thrills, but it's still hard to wrap my brain around why people want to feel pain. You're a bit of a masochist. I think pretty much everyone in this industry has a little bit of masochism.
You know, people say that, but, you know, I think it's more the pleasure side than the pain, okay?
Right.
We've done a lot of research. There's colors that light up in your brain. And those who are angry, who like pain, light up one place. Those who just like to catch a buzz light up in the other. And chili heads tend to light up on the pleasure side, not the pain side. The amount of dopamine and endorphin that gets released into your body when you eat super hot peppers, it's akin to a narcotic hit.
Dopamine, endorphins. It's almost like a drug. And there's another guy in the hot sauce world that deserves some credit for stoking people's desire to torture themselves. We ran into him at the expo too. Sean Evans hosts the show Hot Ones on YouTube. It had humble beginnings, but now some episodes get upwards of 15 million views, and it attracts guests like Scarlett Johansson and Shaq. Who comes up with an idea like this? How did you craft what Hot Ones is today?
Well, we were just trying to solve for a problem, which is celebrity interview shows are boring. How do we make them not boring? And our solve for that was hot sauce. How do we take these celebrities out of their PR-driven flight pattern? You know, what can we do to disrupt that? Well, what if we interviewed them over extremely spicy chicken wings?
Why don't we torture them a little bit?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a celebrity interview show, but before each question, the guest eats a chicken wing, and each wing is coated with a spicier and spicier hot sauce.
My lips feel like they bleeding.
We were at the New York City Hot Sauce Expo a few weeks ago,
Saw ya.
and it was such a wild scene for so many different reasons, but it really felt like a carnival or like a comic festival or something like that. I mean, what is going on? What world did we enter there?
Well, I think that what you're seeing is, first off, I think in hot sauce you have to be a little bit crazy. You know, there's something a little bit nuts about just cranking your food up as high as it can go. So you see a lot of extreme personalities there. And then I think that humbly, the show has brought hot sauce to a younger audience.
Why do people come on your show when they see the pain that it gives people? Like, how do you keep getting people to do this?
It's a mystery to me, you know, but I think that celebrity is a thing that is by nature this unobtainable status or this lifestyle or whatever. But nothing is more common, man, than just dying on hot sauce. Like, everybody understands and knows what that's like. So I think what you're seeing through the show is it's celebrity through a different lens.
Yeah.
So it's taking, you know, this unobtainable status, this unobtainable lifestyle, and knocking them down a peg.
So Hot Ones gives celebrities a unique opportunity, but it's also an opportunity for sauce makers who get featured on the show.
I was talking to the guys who do heartbeat sauce, the heartbeat hot sauce that we had on season 6, and they were like, that call to us, you know, like, it was just a high five, like, game-changing moment for our company. And we know that we have a certain amount of time where we have to ramp up production, and when it goes on the show, it's just gonna, you know, every bottle's gonna fly off the shelf. So we have to.
Yeah, so they see that spike.
Right. If you're a hot sauce maker and you get featured on the show, it completely changes your company.
Hot sauce really is big business. We've spent a lot of time talking about the extreme side of things, but even for those who haven't quite built up their spice tolerance, there are plenty of approachable options around.
You go to every fast food restaurant now,
Yeah.
it's like the Angry Whopper, the spicy fries, you know, like this, the hot sauce wave is touching everybody right now.
It is touching everybody, from less experienced palates to extreme eaters. But just in case you thought the race to make the spiciest pepper was over,
A woman I worked with at a bank gave me peppers from the island of St. Vincent, and I bred them with the hottest peppers I had from all around the world. And the Carolina Reaper is just one of 9 of those peppers that came out. The rest are hotter than the Reaper, you know, so yeah.
So you've got a little stash.
Oh, I've got a big stash. I'm ready for anybody who comes after my record.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.